Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner Albert Cameron. We're getting down to the end of the spring sports playoffs. If you're playing in the next few weeks, you've had quite a season, and obviously everybody wants to get that gold medal. I don't care what sport it is, you want the gold.
Hopefully, we will be announcing somebody with the gold in this area.
Leading into that, we have some great individual accomplishments. Sam Grzelewski and Elliot Gebhardt combined for a no-hitter for Howland. 13-0 win over Columbiana. Cam Huff struck out 15, pitching a shutout for Newton Falls. Complete game, 6-hitter. Boardman softball whooped a really good team, Canfield, 13-3 in 6 innings. Why was it important? To claim the conference championship with Austintown Fitch. Canfield, 19-4.
3 good teams.
So there's 3 really good teams in this area. So we got a chance to follow and see how they do.
Exactly.
Columbiana, who's on fire, piled up 13 hits in a 14-5 rout against Southeast. Their 20th win on the season. Their player, Caitlin Pleska, did something that George and I couldn't believe.
Yeah,
she has more runs batting than anybody who ever played in the state of Ohio.
Ever.
That is, Caitlin, do you understand what you're saying there? There's a million girls that have been through there. She just passed 218. She has a long way to go the rest of the year to build up on it. Her historic stretch included 22 straight at-bats with a hit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and she made a good point, trying to pass off with a little humility. Someone has to be on. I mean, you could hit 60 homers and have 61 RBIs. You have to give her credit. I mean, and she noticed that. She said, credit to, it's not a singular award.
Amen.
Because, you know, she had,
I would have never thought of that either.
Yeah. In other words,
I would have never thought of that.
Someone's got to be. Then you talk about Babe Ruth and Gary.
You might want to tell Cruz that.
Yeah, that's like Ruth and Gary. I said, how'd he do it? There was no one left on base. The guy knocked them all in before him.
I do know this. Bay's my favorite guy.
Exactly.
They walked him all the time.
Sure they did. Well, yeah.
Because Gary's tremendous.
Yeah.
But Ruth's the best. And they said, think about walking a guy to get to Garrick. That's how
well,
good
you know, the old-timer is walking Bonds with the bases loaded.
Exactly.
That was my favorite.
It is.
That was the guy that Buck Showalter. He said, I'm not giving the grand slam.
That's amazing.
He said, I'll give him 1 run. He said, I'm not giving him 4.
Yeah, that tells you how good he was.
That's right.
So congratulations to our girl Caitlin.
Way done, Caitlin.
That's one of our greatest records on our show that we've ever done in our history over here. Softball rankings continue. We talked about these 3 teams. Canfield number 1 in Division 1. Canfield number 1 in Division 3.
That was Fitch in 1, right?
Did I say the wrong team?
Yeah, you can't. I'll just make sure.
Thank you. Fitch in Division 1. Canfield in Division 3. Boardman at number 5 in Division 3. And Champion number 4 in Division 5. And Matthews coming in at number 4 and in Division 7. Good luck to those teams, and hopefully somebody sneaks in, and we're talking about them later on. In track and field, Boardman senior Sarah Barrow broke the school record that was held for 25 years. That means that was a great record at one time.
Yes.
Throwing the shot put, 45 feet 3 inches. We know that at this time there's a lot of great invitationals that are being run locally at the 2025 All-American Track and Field Championship. 2 close results in boys and girls. In the girls, Boardman won the team results with 120 points. Fitch with 117. That means it came down to 1 event. In the boys, Fitch 111 and Boardman 109. Same thing.
One relay, huh?
Yeah, 1 relay turns it around. Or 1
5 you get, 5 they don't get, right? That's 10 points.
Yeah, but also maybe they're just coming in 6th.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of 8th, might have won it.
I was watching the other night, track and field. I think it might have been the Big Ten. I know Southern Cal was there, I'm not sure, but I think it was. They had first, second, third, and sixth. I'd say you got a pretty good shot there. Wow. Yeah, and these girls. I mean, that's how fast they were.
Yeah, so this was in the sprint.
Yeah. It wasn't a short one. It was a turn. They had to have been the 200 because there was a turn.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, my goodness, you get one or two, you feel fortunate.
Yes.
They had 4 out of 6.
Well, remember you tell a story about
Miami, Florida?
No,
that's it.
Was it Miami, Florida?
Yes. One of my guys was at Syracuse, the quarterback, and he went to the track meet one day. It was the Big East at the time. And Miami had guys in 4 different lanes. It was those couple of those football players. Remember, yes. Back in the day, they had all that speed.
Yeah,
yes.
The best. Yeah, no question.
This is impressive, though. These guys, I mean, and Fitch, they just keep coming up. Mm-hmm. Everything that we
read. This is a great year for them this year.
It is.
Year for them. Remember, Camp used to be the team. Coleman used to be the team.
Oh, yeah.
This year, Fitch is the team.
Yeah, it sure looks like.
Yes.
Let's talk about. We haven't done this in a long time. But I saw the need to start with both golf and horse racing because we rarely golf, horse racing, never. But this was, there was some history here. Scheffler won it. That's not so much the idea. But here's what I found extremely interesting. They said his driver wasn't regulation, and he won with another driver. Same thing happened to McIlroy. He went in the tank completely and wouldn't talk to anybody.
How they handled it.
How they handled it.
Yeah, they are two
Scotty went out there and said, I can win with another driver.
Two different emotions.
And Rory pouted.
Yeah, 2 different emotions on
Non-conforming, Al. Yeah. Non-conforming.
Pretty interesting that Scheffler doesn't let anything bother him. If it does, let's put it this way, if it does, it's inside.
Okay.
Because if he double bogeys or birdies, he never changes expression at all. He doesn't show expression until it's over. When it's over,
good point, Al. No, Albert, good point. You coach.
I couldn't do that.
I know.
I couldn't do that.
Be hard for sure.
I wear my emotions on my sleeve.
But the thing is, when they play all those years of golf, you know, the proper way, calling penalties on yourself.
Right.
There are things that happen there that don't happen in any other sport. But what I'm saying to you is how you handle it. Now, that's 3 majors for him. It's a long way from 18.
Right.
But at the same time, as you say,
he's the best player right now.
You watch him walking, up the fairway or whatever, and you can't tell if he hit a birdie or a bogey.
No, that. Besides it being a great ball striker, but his temperament is made to win championships. No question.
Talk about Rahm. You're a Rahm guy. He got there within 1 stroke.
Yeah, I had him too. That was the guy I took, and he was playing really well, and. All it took was a couple putts that rimmed out. He could not keep his poise.
Couldn't handle it.
Could not keep his poise, and he played at Arizona State, and he was known for that.
Oh,
he's a guy there tells me about him.
He's a little bit of a hothead or
temperamental. Yeah, temperamental.
Oh, it's not. And, that's the wrong sport to be temperamental.
He's so great, still doing it. Oh, that's there's no question about it. But he did disappear out of nowhere. He was 1 down before you know it. He was 7 down. 8 down. The great ones just stay on the line. You know, they expect the other ones to fall apart. That was Tiger's MO.
Yeah, get 3 up on Sunday, it was over.
Now it's Scheffler. He knew the other ones couldn't come back, but they just can't handle it. They can't handle the pressure.
I was rooting for the guy who was winning the first 2 days. I knew the pressure. I knew the pressure, but still, he had a nice day. Maybe, the prize money. I saw 2nd, 3rd, and 4th tied, so they'll split.
Yeah, prize money. Tremendous.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting paid.
No life.
No, you're
That's
not.
why the wife was hugging him like crazy.
No GoFundMe. She's thinking he won that. They hand him the check. She's thinking new patio, new
everything.
New everything.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. But we've seen that before, and he is one of those guys. He's 29 next month. Mm-hmm. So he could possibly, if he were to, he doesn't have both opens for the Slam. He's got 2 Masters and the PGA.
Yeah.
And that one over there, I call it the British Open. I don't care what those roundheads call it. It's the British Open. That seems to be the bugaboo.
It's hard to win.
You can't hit high.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are out there that can win.
Yeah. They're over there. They're more used to it.
Yeah, they play in that weather.
Exactly. Yeah, good point. All right. We don't do a lot of this, but we have to because we have a big match coming in 3 weeks. Journalism finishes strong. I was working that night, the boxing. I didn't see it, though, the next day. That underdog was running away with it. That 9 was going to get the flag. I thought he got to the buzzer.
I told my wife it was the greatest race by a horse that I've ever watched.
Jockey credit?
No.
No, when to come?
No. Did you see?
No.
He got. Oh, you didn't see it.
No.
Oh my gosh. They got sandwiched.
Okay.
No. Stopped dead in his tracks.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, getting him at the line tells me he knew
Oh,
that
the horse took over. He didn't do
he
anything.
just beat him.
No. No, that's what I'm saying. It was the greatest horse.
Then he should win the Belmont. Then.
Easily.
Okay.
No,
Remember
no,
about.
easily.
Don't forget the
Easily.
Belmont.
Easily.
No mile and a half.
Easily.
Saratoga.
You hear me say?
I remember you
No.
said it. No, I will. I
No,
will
'cause that's
remind
how-
you. Believe
because
me.
of this.
The traffic. I got you.
No, he was stopped dead in his tracks, and the guy's running away with it, and he picked
Got
up.
him. He got
No,
him.
it was. I said, Rusty, I put that back on again. I want to watch it again. So I watched it 10 times. I said, wait a minute, how did he? win
Now
this
he
race?
and Sovereignty at the Bellman. You're saying no
I took
call?
Sovereignty against him the first time.
Okay, you
But I
went
will not
this
take him the
time.
next
No, I want to know that because
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I saw it at
No,
the
I can't tell you
end.
what it was like. I can't tell you what it was like.
Now, don't forget these guys that didn't come, they're all coming. Now, let me ask you, do you like the fact, I don't like them messing with the distance, but I guess it's the contour of the track. It's a mile and a quarter again, and usually the Belmont's a mile and a half.
So it's shorter distance this time.
Same distance as the Kentucky Derby.
Okay, gotcha.
This one was 1/16
I like
shorter.
when it's a mile and a half. You know that.
Everything's the same.
I like
See, a guy called.
me, you know,
no,
I'm
no,
a dinosaur and
no, but I
everything.
know it's important because it's a sport that lends itself to records.
Right.
Guy called our show there. He said, "Well, if they put a month," I said, "It's not the same. I mean, you want to put an asterisk there and
Yeah,
say
that's what I would
one a
do.
month? That's fine."
I don't want to take away from the horse because the horse is great.
No, but you know, a mile and a
It's
half
different.
is quite different. How many horses have you
can't do
seen
it.
get to that
I
last
can't do it. That's the
marking
problem.
and think, "Uh-oh,
Right.
we're done"? But no, that's what I wanted to know. Saratoga also is known as the graveyard of favorites
It is.
for years. So if and I'm sure he'll be the favorite because he almost won the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, he'll go off.
He'll go off.
He'll be the favorite.
What do you think? 4 to 5, 3 to 5?
I don't think he will with Sovereignty.
I hope not.
No, with
I
Sovereignty
don't
in it.
like. I don't want to win like the jackpot or anything. But boy, I don't want to win 3 to 5.
Yeah, with Sovereignty
I
in there,
almost look for something to beat him.
This race proved that he's the best horse.
Oh,
It was amazing.
That's what I wanted to see.
You need to look that up and watch.
I just saw the
he got
end.
stopped dead in his track.
Oh, then-
bang by two horses.
Then he's going to win.
Amazing what he did.
Okay, MLB. Let's talk about it. We always do. The local teams. Cleveland, not a good week, 4-6, but you don't get buried 4-6. Pirates 3-7. They've been buried so long. The Undertaker's gone.
Yeah, it's a shame the
pitching.
what's happening in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We thought they'd have good pitching. We were right on.
Better than good.
Yeah, the starters are really good, and their relievers in the top 5,
It's unbelievable.
and 20-some straight games.
24 without 4 runs.
or less.
Before I want to jump one thing on women's softball, then we'll go MLB.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to give that. I didn't realize it had never happened since they changed the format. Liberty beats A&M, who was number 1 in the country. And since it's 05 is when they went to this format, now they go super regional. The host had never not made the tournament. Last night, they had to beat them twice. They jumped out 6-0. They got tied. A&M came back and won. So you figure game 2 at home. No, sir.
Never
Give the
got it,
Flames credit.
And they don't reseed. So Liberty's going to play a 16th seed now.
Bingo.
You understand?
Bingo. Hey, how about St. Francis? God bless them. They were in there 16-0 and 8-0.
They're just happy to be there.
Yeah, I mean,
They're happy to
you
be there.
can't play softball in Crescent in March. I don't know how they even get out in the field.
Yeah, they're happy to
they
be
have to
there.
do everything indoors.
They were
But
happy.
yeah, so credit where due the Flames. You know, I said to someone last night, somebody called me, I said, they seem to be pretty good in everything anymore. Their football, basketball.
Put money into it, that's why.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
That's the answer.
Makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
back to our major leagues. I just wanted to give those young ladies their credits. Looks like the Pirates are going to lose 100 games.
Oh, easily. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind they are. That first of all, they're losing, but now they're emotionally gone.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to be there.
No.
I wouldn't want to be there either.
No,
and it's early in the year. Like
Yeah.
somebody will say they can still turn it around. I don't see it because they have nobody can hit the ball.
In other words, who would hit that's not? It's what you're
Reynolds will come on.
Reynolds
strong.
will come on.
He's
He'll,
the one.
Right.
Like the one they keep talking about is good is right now is their worst hitter, Cruz. I mean, it's an automatic strikeout.
Oh my.
Remember, he's a star. So they're going to say, oh, he has 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases at the end of the year.
Yep.
I watched him play. He's like 5 for 57 against left-handers.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
how do you play a guy?
Looks clueless out there. And then the other night, I was watching the sports show. They had 2 on, 9 out. They needed to get a bunt down, and the second baseman couldn't get it down. How old is he? 38?
No, he's not old. He's
35?
No, I don't know. He's not.
He's old.
Frazier's done it all the time.
But I'm saying, I want a 20-year-old there missing that bunt. I want a 22-year-old. If I'm going to lose 100 games, and they're going to, I want all guys that don't shave out there. You know what I mean? Give me Reynolds, Cruz, and then yesterday I heard that Hayes, who's supposedly the top fielder, double play ball or something. I didn't see it.
That's one thing he can do.
They lost 1-0. And I was just thinking, if they scored any run, or 24 games without 4 runs, if they scored any runs at all,
yeah,
they'd be decent.
They'd be okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't be awful. They're awful. That's the difference.
Yes.
Kershaw came back Saturday and they banged him around pretty
done.
good.
I mean, I hate when guys hang around for the money.
Yeah, just quit.
Yeah, he had a great career, Hall of Fame career, and now kids who are batting against him say, "I thought you said this guy was good."
How about they were swept by the Angels? The Dodgers.
You never know. It's baseball.
No, it is the funniest sport because
baseball.
You can look and you could say, I have a buddy, and this is
pay
why.
Your dues, whatever you say. He's
play
I guarantee you, everybody in the country
dues.
had the Dodgers.
Yeah, play your dues, pay your. Probably given a run and a half. Yeah, you don't know, but they learned a lesson. It is something. Dodgers can score 10. That's the one thing they have going for them with Kershaw. If he were to give them 5 innings, they could score 5 runs.
Yeah, they're capable of doing that, but you aren't going to win a lot of games doing that. That's
not
the way you win
against the
baseball
big
games.
boys.
No.
You're not beating.
You'll face some good pitchers that you aren't getting 10.
Let's talk about the Orioles. This is the 3rd manager. It's May. Mm-hmm. They fired their manager.
Had to, because the Pirates' expectations
No
were
expectation.
not super. Colorado's wasn't.
No.
But Baltimore was picked to win, go into the playoffs, and something has went haywire. All their pitchers went haywire. That's why they can't get anybody out.
Completely wrong.
They can't. They're down 5-0 in the second inning.
That's 3 already in middle of May.
They had to.
Shelby had to go too. Shelby had to go.
Yeah.
And Clint, we root for Clint, but there isn't much to hang your hat on in Colorado, is there?
You can't win in Colorado.
There's not a possibility.
No.
And then if you would be, no pitcher will go there.
No.
I remember the Mets had that guy that time, and he was going to take a shot at it. And about a year later, he was wishing he was somewhere else. Oh, it's just tough to pitch there. Obviously, firing the manager, we always kid about it, like it's going to make. Like I always said here, that guy was telling me about the one football coach. I said, let him switch sidelines right before the game. Let the BG coach walk over there, and let the Claysburg coach walk over there.
Amen.
And see what happens.
Real quick.
It'll change in a hurry. Man, that guy, I thought he knew
He can
something.
really coach.
Yeah.
Or he can't.
And then I said that the other day at Ohio State. I said, you understand they had 20 drafted. 20.
So there's a chance to win a national championship.
Yeah, and I think when you throw a pass, there's a chance a pro will catch it.
Yeah, the quarterback got drafted because he went to Ohio State.
I agree.
Like he could throw touchdown passes that would be intercepted.
I said the same
Kansas
thing.
State.
I saw him at
they
Kansas
jump up,
State.
catch it one hand. That's
I saw him at Kansas State. I told someone that the other day. I said, "You know not of what you say." I said, "I saw him at Kansas State.
One of the same
he
player
was
at Ohio
getting
State.
beat out."
Yeah.
Let's go NBA. Now I will say this: I happened before I came over today to check the odds in New York, Indiana. I expected L. But the Minnesota odds are too high.
Yeah, are they?
3-something to win
Because
100.
Oklahoma City's been so good all year.
But I'll tell you what, Minnesota's not chopped liver.
No, they're pretty darn good.
No, it looks interesting to me. The price is too high.
Right.
I'm not
Gotcha.
saying they won't. Let me say it value-wise.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
what
it.
I'm saying.
Minnesota's good. That's why.
Oak City beat Denver in 7. They were the better team.
But these scores are unbelievable.
The job was made easier when
He tried to play, but
he couldn't play. Gordon couldn't play. And once again, they were using 6 guys. They used a guy yesterday that happened to play decently at home Friday.
We talked
Saw him
about
yesterday,
that.
missed a 2-shot
We know
foul.
that.
I said, there are certain killers in sports. Interceptions in the end zone, block. Put missing both foul shots
No
up.
knockout in a hurry.
I don't know. I'm thinking
You're
about
trying to come back for
these
sure.
are pros. I get at the Biddy League. when St. Mary's is playing St. Teresa. I don't expect them to make them, but I expect a pro to make one of them.
You know what was interesting? I watched, they put a little guy on, joking.
That's how they did it.
Do you understand? Never saw
You know who that was?
That was great coaching.
Hey, that was Baldy Regan, buddy.
I know.
And
That was great
and you know
coaching.
what? That boy can D up, and he's not afraid. He gets up under him. He can't swing his arms.
No.
He stripped him a couple
It was
times.
great coaching. Like every time
Yeah.
you play a big guy on him, he'll take you outside.
Oh no, he takes you out, and then he does
Yes.
that little
That was great
footwork
coaching.
thing. And I'll tell you what,
He fronted them, and they couldn't get the ball to
he
him.
made him crazy. When do you ever have 5 baskets?
I know. It was awesome.
You ever see him? No, I agree 1,000%. 1,000%. Oak City's young. They had those games at altitude, but they
That's
got
proof
through.
about young means nothing.
No. Young means you might not
Danny
be.
Lloyd was a sophomore, but I knew he was better than any senior I ever had.
Yeah.
No, these guys
are 35.
They
It's
try to
different.
tell me they're young. I don't.
Yeah. Oh no, they've played a
They've
million
been
games.
playing
They're
since
not
they-
inexperienced. Use it that way. Chronologically, they're young.
Yeah, that
No.
means zero.
No,
So quit trying to tell me age-wise.
No.
They have played
They
5,000
started
games.
in 5th grade,
Yes, playing against the best
all over the
competition.
country.
Yes.
They've played against all these guys a million times.
And they really believe, I believe that when they say they're young. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
care what
Well,
they're
your
saying.
dad had it best. Guy lets the play clock run out. They say, well, he's only in his second year. Second year? He's been playing quarterback since he was 11.
Yes, he knows the clock.
And even in high school, now they got the big clock in the
They
end
do.
zone. I get back in the day, you had to guess. It's
think-
in the end zone.
I don't think there's one player for Oklahoma City saying, I don't think we can win.
No, we better rest it. I'm
we're too
tired.
young.
Yeah, we're young.
too young to
Let's
win.
go to IHOP after the game or something. These guys are in the strip club throwing money around. Joe is obviously great, but he didn't have enough help. I mean, we know that. I give him credit. He's a funny guy, Al. They asked him after the game. You don't know how much of it is translation, how much of it is.
Real.
He's a little vague. And the lady said, she said, you think your team, as presently consisted, can win? Because obviously not. We had a chance and we didn't. You know, most guys say, well, we got a good group of
Straight answer.
guys. And, yeah, you asked them, right?
Yes.
That was interesting, I thought. But yeah, lottery won by Dallas. The conspiracy guys are running wild. The cold envelope, giving so-and-so, giving.
I don't think Dallas would be the place they put the.
Well, they're saying because he gave away Doncic.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. No, flag will be there, and if they can keep the eyebrow out of the Red Cross tent,
Yes.
they could be pretty good.
Oh, yeah, and Kyrie comes back healthy.
Kyrie, I didn't realize. You know, I appreciate him slowly because he did so many knucklehead things off the floor.
He is a knucklehead.
But he
can
seems
really
to.
play.
Oh no, my! Oh no! Now Giannis, for years was satisfied. He's starting to turn a little bit. He has a year left. You can't poach him now. You'd have to give them 3 guys.
I love it.
But I'll tell you. Remember
They
when
all
he
went
used?
out.
Remember he said, "I'm here. I'll make the team around me." Well, after 2 years of Doc Rivers, he changed his tune.
They all went out.
Yeah.
What a different that is.
But he does make you a contender, right?
Instantly.
Even the Nets.
Instantly.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Here's the only thing, this NBA, it's the middle of May, and there are 2 more series before the championship. Please, you guys, please,
You'll be watching it.
please, but cut it back, do something. This is,
That's the problem.
Middle of June.
They know people will be watching it, so they don't care.
they have sweeps in May, they plan around it too, don't think they don't. Those games will be on ABC. Here's the thing, June is a little long, make the first round best of 5. Is that our suggestion?
that.
Round table suggestion, that's not
that.
changing much. That would just give you a week. Oh, yeah. No,
They won't do,
forget
they,
it.
They
No.
will not do anything to lose money.
NFL dropped their schedule. You would think that they had the cure for measles, cancer, and diphtheria in the same pill. Ladies, gentlemen, this was I'm looking, we play the Packers. Well, yeah, but Romeo Dobbs won't, so-and-so won't. You don't know. Last year, we got an easy one, the Commanders.
Right.
Then that man came from LSU,
Daniels,
and all of a sudden, that wasn't an easy
That's what they were
game.
saying last year.
No,
4th place team is
we got it made.
between the Giants and
We
Washington.
have it made.
Yeah, one of those teams is going to come in 4th.
And you and I have talked about this for years on here and other places. You can't tell because of free agency and because of the draft. like they go, well, we got this guy. Wait a minute, Mississippi State, he maybe played against 2 pros a week. If it's loaded, Alabama, Georgia, 4.
Right.
He's playing against 44. This guy said the other day, he was filling in a weekend on the radio, and he said, I had an assignment one day. I was on the field at Florida State when Bobby Bowden was running on. Said the next day, I had the Tampa Bucks, who were a lousy pro team. He said, but it wasn't even close.
No.
These guys are.
Somebody asked that. Some little kids.
Yeah, they don't know.
They'll say, Pop, I think Connecticut's girls team could beat.
Yeah.
And I said, pros will beat them by 35.
Yeah. You're being kind.
You know,
You're being kind. You're going by last year's team.
Also, injuries is the other thing. See,
Exactly.
you don't know who's going to be hurt.
Yeah.
You have no idea who's going to be hurt.
Many games in Europe, neither one of us like that, and one in Brazil. Now, here's something interesting. I found out yesterday, the first Friday opener in Brazil is free on YouTube, and nothing's free in that league. You need 8 platforms to watch everything, but it is free, so that's interesting. Hard to believe that you would need. I heard someone the other day, guy told me, I like this guy. He just was flat out. He said, if it's on, I watch it. No, I'm not adding Hulu, Fire Stick or whatever.
He doesn't have that.
Whatever I have, he said. If it's on, I watch it. I don't chase it. See me, I have like 3 streams and all this. Then I get that cable bill every month, and it's like a house payment, and it's my own fault.
And you don't watch half of them
I
either.
fall
That's
asleep in the
best
chair
part.
watching Gunsmoke while the other channels. No, it's amazing when you talk about it. All right, NCAA, we're in the last few minutes here. Spring ball, complete. We grew up
It's not spring ball.
a scarlet and gray.
Spring practice now.
Nobody gets hurt.
It's all practice.
Show the people what you have so they'll give more NIL money. But there's not a
No, just the opposite of that, though. They don't want to show what they have.
Oh, no.
Because somebody will take
pill
the player. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're showing
They
what
don't
they
want-
want you.
they don't want to
showing what
show
they
it.
want you to see. They're not games anymore. Remember, they used to have a game. They'd have the
That was
scarlet
everything.
gray,
People would
blue,
fire up
white,
for that.
green,
Yeah.
gold,
Oh, yes.
whatever. No
Yes.
more. They're not doing it. Who's the key in the off season? The strength coach.
Every
They
team in the
spend
country.
all their time with the strength coach. So obviously, those guys are very important. Very.
I'll tell you why you
important.
know, because they're paid gigantic money.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's not like the old days.
No, they're paid big money.
And the other thing too, what we've gained a nice little foothold in the early games now that there's a 12 team instead
Not
of
scared
2
to
or
lose.
4. They're not afraid to play.
Right.
Opening week, Ohio State, Texas. I'll be watching that. Miami, Notre Dame. I'll be watching that. And Syracuse, Tennessee. I'll have my eye on it.
You'll be watching Bowling Green in
Oh,
Miami,
I
Ohio.
will. Tuesday night, Mac. That's my.
It doesn't matter.
That's my league.
That's one I
Mac-
can't do a check off for good games.
Maxon.
People say, I saw this kid from Texas Southern.
Yeah.
Man, can he play?
Yeah, that's why you see him. NCAA hoops. They're opening their wallets. What are the starters going for? More than $2 million?
Easily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
Easily.
one guard for
$40 million
Auburn,
they're paying.
he wanted judo. Guarantee he was playing the point, and he wanted $4 million. Not sure where it's going. We'll have to wait and see. This lawsuit in July
I've been
is going
saying
to be
over and
big.
over. That's what somebody told us. The head of the Division III conference around here said, "Hey, this is going to make or break."
Yeah. Oh, they're out. They're out of it.
Uh-huh.
Last minute, A.B. Brown in an incident.
he
No,
on the news again.
No, well, yes, he got in a fight, but he said someone tried to steal his jewelry or something.
okay.
As of right now, he's the victim.
Okay.
But with him, who knows? You know what I
Right,
mean?
that's why I asked that.
No word on Rogers. Is he showing at the Pittsburgh facility? Please either show or don't.
Yeah.
I'm tired
He'll
of it.
be there.
I'm
He'll be playing.
tired of it too. One last thing. I hate to say this. I don't want to be negative, so I'll just leave it out there. Chris Berman signing on again. He's going to be 50 years on ESPN. In my mind, sometimes you have to know when to step back. You said it
Anybody has to
about
say
a
that.
player, and I think we
Yeah.
feel the
Kershaw.
same. Oh, good point. Hey, thanks again for watching. See you next week on Bottom Line Sports Talk.